Oh, hey, we actually have viewers now. Alright, great. We can start the stream. Hello, all two of you. Actually, one of those might be me. Uh, like I said, I'm Farflung Wanderer, and today we are continuing our playthrough of IL-2 as a IL-2 pilot. Where we last left off, at the stream that nobody went to, I'm not bitter, I swear, we actually managed to survive the first phase of the Battle of Moscow. What does that mean? It means that we are not dead. We're about to move on to a new cutscene and a new phase of the war. In fact, this is a fairly long one, too. It starts on the 14th of October and it lasts until... scrolling... the 14th of November. So effectively a whole month of fighting. Plenty of chances for us to die. Once we get there, we enter a new phase, and I believe there's a total of 5 or 6 phases. But we can worry about that when we get to it. So with that out of the way, let's scroll us back over. For those of you who weren't there last stream, we actually managed to do 2 combat sorties without us losing our engine to my idiot engine management. And, in a surprise move, actually managed to shoot down a German fighter craft. That was shortly before we were in turn shot down, but we survived. We always survive. But the good news is, it means that we know what we're doing. We have relative competency over our aircraft. So, survival rate's looking okay for now, but we'll have to see what happens. Anyways, I'm going to shut up as the cutscene plays. Those cutscenes are fun, even if they are a bit hokey. So, today is the 14th of October, 1941. We have cloudy weather with clouds at 1600 meters. Temperature's a frigid -1. Pressure's on the lowish side, 749. We've got a wind to the northeast, 2 meters a second. So before we get going, how is everyone doing? How is my mic doing? How has your day been going? Let's just make sure everything's working properly. Feel free to type something in chat. And while you do that, I will look at my things. Huh. Alright, 9 IL-2 left. Alright, well, or can't wait for a chat response, so we're gonna have to move on. Hopefully the audio is doing alright. I've tinkered with it a lot today. As it stands from listening to my own stream, it sounds like it's pretty nice, but you never know. Anyways, today we were flying 2 flights out of good old Vlasiyevo Aerodrome. Actually, I'm not even sure if we're flying in either of those flights. Let's see. There's a flight to the town of Holm, next to Holm. Strange. Anyways, there's troop concentration there, and then there's a second flight later in the day at a river crossing. That's a bit exciting. You can even see the bridge right there. They're both a good few kilometers away. Just checking the planning room. We are missing the ground troops attack, but we will be flying for the river crossing attack. Also, before we get any further, here's the plan for today, and I'll repeat this after the first flight. We will be doing 2 flights today, and then we will be wrapping up Arma 3's Laws of War campaign tonight. So, we should be done 3-ish hours, I'm hoping, but I'm not 100% sure on that note. Anyways, we are going to let the AI do its flight. I'm going to take a drink of water. Okay, well, they accomplished their mission. Unfortunately, Junior Lieutenant Larazev and Lieutenant Leutnant, I suppose is the Russian way of pronouncing it. I'm not 100% sure of that. Kuligin both got wounded. Kuligin's aircraft was damaged. Strangely, not Gleb's. I wonder if he messed up on landing or if he just took a round through the canopy. Either way, we did some decent damage. Wow, even some armored vehicles. And 2 cannons. So now we're up to bat. Actually, has there been any news? No, the news hasn't been updated yet. Right, so let's get into it. Options should be the same as last time. I'll be upset if they're not. But it was saved before. As always, our goal for today is not to be glory hounds, but to survive. Now, I mean, I've lost the first 2 aircraft mainly because I didn't understand how to manage the engine. But my last 2 aircraft, both sorties last night, I lost them to enemy fire one way or another. So, to date, we've never actually managed to make it back to Vlasievo. Hopefully that changes tonight. Anyways, destroy the enemy river crossing, render it inoperable at all costs. You may engage any ground targets of opportunity that you find. Yes, we have fighter cover, and they meet us here. Alright, so our flight path is we take off at bearing 90 for 10 kilometers, and then we make a very sharp turn up to the airfield at Kubinka, and that's at bearing 283 for 43 kilometers. We make a minor adjustment. Oh, well, this is quite interesting. So we're going to be rather deep in. Our target location is at 281 for 58 kilometers. But this is a Soviet defense line that's been shattered. See how it's maintained and then the German line overlaps? So the actual front line is here. What that means for us is if our plane takes damage, we can't just turn around. We'll have to deviate effectively due north and just hope we can reach at least this town. There is an airfield here at Ivanovskoye, but that is so close to the German front line that I'm not comfortable. I feel like landing in a field somewhere around here might be safer. We'll have to feel for it, see how it plays. There don't seem to be any other airfields closer aside from this one. That's way back in the path. Anyways, once we're done attacking, once we're done attacking here, we're going to fly at bearing 83 for 52 kilometers, and at bearing 125 for 46 kilometers and land. Which is admittedly rather optimistic, given our performance the last couple of times, but who knows, anything can happen. So today we are flying with a rather standard loadout, 2 Fab 100 bombs, 8 rockets, 300 rounds of cannon, and 1,500 rounds of machine gun. It's worked out pretty well for us. 500 meter convergence, contact, explosives. So when they hit something, they go off. It's nice. Default paint. Hopefully that'll change soon. I am working on it, but nothing to report today. With that out of the way, we are going to go ahead and start the game itself. Okay, we are in. Let me just adjust my setting, or my positioning, so I am ready. We got the lower flaps, open up the throttle, and do about a bunch of things with very little time, so let's get to it. not have a lot of time. We'll rotate at about 150 kilometers an hour. And rotate. Gear up. Flaps up. The plane is doing okay. So I'll have to check the formation again because I wasn't really looking at that. But I believe we're third in the flight. But I have to be careful. After what happened last time, I'm a lot more cognizant of where the rest of my squadron is. We should be flying at roughly 375 kilometers an hour, just like last time. There we go, let's open up the radiator. It'll slow us down a little, but I'd rather that than having the engine overheat on us. Alright, they're beginning their banking turn. So we're going to follow them into that turn. Doing good on airspeed. Maybe that was a bit sharper of a turn than I should have done. Not totally sure. Alright, there's the rest of the squadron. Looks like everyone's kind of a clump right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to reduce the RPM to about 95%. Or, that's throttle. There we go, there's RPM. So now we are in continuous mode. For those of you who weren't there last week, the reason why we had such problems was the RPM of the engine was up way too high, which meant that the engine was in constant boosted mode. Not great for engine health, as it so happens. Get that out of the way. I'm going to slow the plane down so we don't overshoot the formation, and also very quickly check. We are 1, 2, 3. We are plane 3. And we're flying a right echelon, so we need to slot in behind this guy off of our right wing. So let's drop back out of formation, let him blow past us, and then slide in. Now we have to be careful. There's... interesting that the boosted mode is activating there. I'm going to lower the RPM even further, this time to 85%. Alright, so... I'll admit, I'm not 100% certain what people are doing at the moment. So we're just going to try to figure this out. Get the RPM up to 90%. Lower the pitch, trim. Don't worry, they're not going to get away from us. It's just an issue of figuring out where they want us to be. We have a cruising altitude of about 1,000 meters, and we're nearly at that, so that's the good news. We'll be flying straight and level for a long time. Bearing's good. And my phone keeps turning off, so I'm sorry if I missed something, chat. So let's see. I can see the gap we're supposed to slot in. So we're going to work to fit in that. You can see that cloud layer is above us by a fair amount, which is nice. It's also a bit dangerous, because it means that the Germans can hide in it. So we're going to have to keep on our toes. Oh, hang on. Slow the plane down, coming in a bit too fast. Minor rudder adjustments should help keep the plane at a decent speed. So 4 is somewhere off our right wing. We need to turn off those navigation lights before we get in trouble. I need to kick up the speed so we don't fall behind, which we are doing. Welcome to our life for the next couple of minutes. I'll admit I'm a bit rusty. I haven't flown since before I left for Virginia on vacation. So I'm going to do my best to not kill ourselves, but I make no promises. Careful, careful. Alright, I think we're mostly in formation now. We are lagging behind just a bit, but it's great practice. Formation flying is a massive bulk of a pilot's job, especially a military pilot. So all the chance we have to get better at it and make sure we are more proficient with just general squadron maneuvers, the better. It also is constant practice on how to fly. Oh, I can see a flare off our nose. That means that the support squadron is aware of us. Hang on, this is getting a bit dangerous. I was sneaking up on him and didn't realize how much I was. Catch up. There's our escort fighters right off our nose. Should be another flight of 5 MiG-3s. There's 4. Watch out for him. Nice slide back into position. This is the nice thing about formation practice, is I get to practice how to stay in formation. Yep, Gannett flight again. Good to see those guys. They're becoming a reliable voice on the radio. Alright, we seem to be nearly with them. I still don't know what Squadron Raven is. I believe it's another fighter squadron located closer to the front. They may or may not be acting in conjunction with us, just not as escorts, and more as a distraction or some kind of pathfinders, clearing what they can so that we have a less bumpy flight. But I am not sure. Could be they're just another squadron doing their own thing kilometers away. Interesting, I've never seen them call that the target's too far away. I wonder if Raven's nearly out of fuel. Drifting back into the flight of 2. Drift back out. Try to maintain a stable position with him. That's proving easier said than done. The IL-2 is a wonderfully stable flying platform, but it's not the plane's fault, it's me. I'm a bit squirrely. So let's go ahead and maneuver over. Try to keep up. Just keep you roughly in the same spot of our window. This will be our life for a while. See one of the fighters roaming around. I do hope that's one of ours. Chance remains that it is a German, but I feel like Gannett would have called it out if it was. Why do I say would Gannett call it out and not Raven? Because I don't know what the word Raven is, but Gannett was right off our nose. Or Gannett. So, if that's Gannett flight doing its thing, they would have noticed. That might have been torturous logic there. I'll admit it's hard to think when I'm trying to make sure that I don't smash into my buddies. Uh-oh. Yep, there's Gannett calling it out. It is a German fighter. So, 109. Alright. Is it the only 109? So what we're going to do is we're going to play high and avoid some of the problems we had last time. We're just going to stay above and to twos outside at all times, which should prevent us from flying into 4. Flying a bit high. I'm hoping flying as high as we are should avoid problems. Got no bearing on that German. There's 2. Looks like we're falling back into that echelon. Nobody actively seems to be shooting at us. Means that Gannett's doing its job. I can't tell if they're calling out the same fighter or some kind of 2-ship formation. I'm hoping it's just 1 or 2 aircraft, which is something that our escorts can rather competently deal with. If it's a larger formation, we might be in trouble. Speaking of trouble, that's ground fire at, I would say, about 030 or 300. Fighter to the north. It's to our right, I think. Actually, no, I think that'd be to our left. South is to our right. It's a bit hairy. I just hope the fighters do their job. This can end in tears, but fortunately we're still over Soviet lines. Actually, no, we just crossed over into the German side of things. That is their flak coming out to touch us. Oh, look at that guy go. I wonder if we just crossed paths with Raven's squadron as well. Alright. So some key bindings I need to remember. R is rocket, and left control E, I believe, is eject, which we're going to need to keep in mind depending on how today goes. Back into formation. Kind of. Call me crazy, but I think I just heard machine gun fire. I can't tell. Thought I heard something. flak. Didn't realize our flight path would take us over a German airbase. Let's just hope we're lucky. Fortunately for us, our return path is more north deviated, so that should avoid that problem. I really don't want to get hit this far over German lines. So I don't know if I can nurse this thing back, especially if the damage is catastrophic. While we talk about that, actually, I'm going to go ahead and close the radiators a little to make them a little bit less vulnerable to damage. No, I want that to be at 50% because that's automatic. One of these days I'll remember those key bindings. There we go. We'll shutter those completely when we get to the ground attack part itself. Alright. Gannett seems to have tied up those German fighters pretty far behind the line, so we actually might be in the clear. All we'll have to worry about, hopefully, is just ground fire, and that can be suppressed with the use of rockets and bombs, and even our cannon itself. Speaking of ground fire, you guys all just saw that tracer, right? Looks like we're taking machine gun fire. Alright, we're at the target area. Drop and follow 3 in. Watch out for 4. Lower our airspeed. Lower our airspeed a lot. Alright, we're just gonna slide under. Come on. Normally this thing... We're gonna kick over so we don't fly into our buddies. That was some pretty shoddy piloting on my part. Open up the throttle. Try to catch up with the rest of the squadron. I wasn't paying attention to my airspeed, which is what happened. And by the time I realized I'd made a boo-boo, I had nearly hit our mate. Something just went down. I caught the tail end of it. I hope it wasn't a Sturmovik. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Were we a 6-ship flight? Hang on, did I miss you on the count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We were a 6-ship flight. That might have been a Sturmovik. Counted you already. Shoot. We'll know for sure when we get back. I think we're Stork. Isn't that our call sign? I always miss things like that. I kind of wish that it reminded you. Alright. We're at the tail end of the formation, which is... Whoa. I don't know if that was just light or some kind of machine gun tracer. We are exposed, though. That's flak. I'm sorry if you are saying stuff in chat. Chat, I'm a bit fixated. Alright, let's go for the bridge. Let's just go ahead and pile one on right on the bridge itself. Wow, look at that. Bombs away. Let's climb up. High over the rest of our squadron, so there's no collision. Hard rail rudder kick. We're exposed because of our altitude, but it also means no collision. So now we're going to drop in behind our friends and join them for the next pass. We've used both of our bombs. I couldn't tell you if you hit anything, but I'm sure it scared somebody. And you don't even really need to hit things to disable them, especially anti-aircraft. If you can land shots around the target, it usually puts them out of the fight. The crew abandons the position, they just run. That's something flying... That could be us. That could be a German fighter. Where did... There he is. Keep an eye on him so we don't collide. Chat is mercifully quiet for now. Hopefully others will join in eventually. Alright, we're climbing for another approach. There's someone. Gannett's still engaged. It worries me a little. Could be we might have more Germans to the fight. First engine overheat. Uh-oh. Let's open up the radiator for water. And duck it down to about... Alright, so we're like running right on the medians. I don't like opening it this much, but I don't think we have a choice. What about our oil radiator? It's open pretty wide. I could lower RPM in an attempt to... 88% seems fair. Alright, in the approach we go. We use most of our rockets, but not all. And we even got something. Look at that. Well done, Peter. That's flak. We're gonna kick this plane over real hard. Where's our wingmate? He's already finished his turn, so we're gonna kick over hard. Pump up the throttle. I don't know how many rockets we have left precisely, hopefully enough. I think we fired maybe 4 or 5, and we have 8 total. The next pass we'll use the rest, and we'll just stick to using our cannon for the remainder of the attack. Cannon's still engaged. How are we doing? Is our 6 o'clock clear? Looks like it. Raven's back at its base. Hoping the radiator may have caused some problems. I'm going to up the RPM so we've got a little bit more power. Because the radiator's open, we have additional drag. The flap's open, you know. We're not quite as aerodynamic as we used to be. So that does have a real effect on how fast we're moving. We want to move fast. Faster targets are hard to hit. Just looking over the nose of the aircraft. I'm still having a hard time really identifying targets, but the rest of the squadron seems to be going really hard on the other end of the bridge. So we'll make a play at that. In fact, right there. Okay, all rockets used. Hey, we even killed a tank. Okay, hard, hard, hard. Last time I flew that low, I had my plane shot out from under me. Alright. Ah, God. I know that might not seem exciting to you, dear viewers, but to me it is something else to make that pass. I think at this point, though, we might have cleared out most of the air defense. So it's just an issue of not hitting ground or our buddies. I don't know how much longer flight wants us to stay in. Uh-oh, temperature is becoming a problem again. We're going to lower the power to 89%, see if that doesn't stave off the inevitable. Is that flak? These are aircraft. Can't quite make out the make. I don't want to fixate on them. I think they might have been Soviet, but they were not Sturmovix, that's for sure. I just hope that's not more German fighters come to mess with us. We are too far over German lines to make it back. Uh-oh. Easy there, Track IR. I'm gonna follow this guy in. What is he engaging? He's engaging... what? Alright. I don't think we really hit anything of value, but that's alright. Hard right rudder. Follow him through the turn. Yeah, I don't... oh, no, we got something. Wow, this thing... no kidding. That's a 109. Yeah, we're not alone. From here on out, I'm going to... I-16s right on his tail. Are you serious? We're being patrolled by a bunch of interwar fighters? Uh-oh. No, that's a Sturmovik. Alright, well, I'm concerned. It's 1 to 109 being chased by 2 I-16s. If the I-16s are smart, they'll bait him into a turn fight. The 109's maneuverable. In fact, it's kind of legendarily maneuverable. But in a turn, the I-16 has it beat twice, once every day and twice on Sunday. And there's 2 of them, so it's not a fair fight, which is good. Never be in a fair fight. This isn't an issue of game balance, this is war. And in war, you fight dirty or you die. There's a pithier quote, but I think I've waxed on enough. Hopefully, they can keep that 109 occupied. I do have a defensive armament. I've got my machine guns and I have my remaining cannon ammunition. I'm not sure how much of that I really have at hand. I can see where the engagement is, and it's far enough away to where I'm not horrifically worried. So I think we're going to make another ground pass. You see that target right off our nose? We're going to start hitting it. Alright, it's good enough. Hard right rudder. Follow this guy through the turn. Come on, lead. Pull us back. Let's get out of here. We've overstayed our welcome. At this point, whatever guy is running the show down there is screaming to the Luftwaffe, "Give me air support." It is not going to be long before somebody listens. I mean, modern forward air controllers don't exist yet, don't get me wrong, but there's still a good deal of coordination. How are we doing temperature-wise? Temperature looks warm, but okay. Is that the Sturmovix? That one high up there? It might be lead, honestly. Taking the front of the formation. I hope those I-16s have killed that bandit. Or at least put him off so that he's not coming back. I can't tell. Something's smoking over there. I just clocked it. Uh-oh, coolant temperature. We're about to go right into the attack. It's alright. We can overheat the engine a little. It's just an issue of maintaining it. That's an I-16 ducking right through our flight, I think. I lost eyes on it. Please, please, please. Yeah, that's an I-16 going vertical. Wow. Where's that 109? Is he on me? Alright. Target, 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 target. Flying left of this guy. Soft rudder. I don't know what he's doing. We're gonna dip the nose down. We might be actually on a exit path now. Nobody seems to be banking right again. We're gonna let the engine idle. Let him duck on ahead. Come on. Yeah, okay, I think we're out. It's funny, I didn't get a mission accomplished call. Whoa, easy there. I don't see the rest of the squadron. He might be he might be Winchester, is what I mean to say. He might be returning to base due to lack of ammunition. In which case, I think we'll follow him back. We've got to be pretty close to running low on cannon ammunition ourselves. Let's see, checking our flight path, we're heading due east. Yep, we're on a return path. Where is the rest of the squadron? I can't make them out. This chair in the way. Too hard to clock anything. There's something. I wonder what's going on there. Might be Raven patrolling for a landing. If so, wow, is Raven literally just right up on the front line like that? That's unfortunate. They're going to need to move and soon. Okay, well, for now I'm going to let this guy be our lead. We're just going to follow him behind. Take a rearward formation. Even if I'm technically splitting from the rest of the squadron, because I still don't know where they are, it's just generally good practice to not let your teammates fly alone. A two-ship formation is just safer, even with bombers. Also an interesting little quirk here. Every time it seems to pop into boost mode, that's me moving the throttle forward just a little bit too much. It seems like that causes that to kick in, which is interesting. Not sure how I feel about that quote-unquote feature. How much cannon ammunition do you wager we had left? Wasn't really counting bullets, but I'm assuming we probably had around 100 rounds left. We fired a fair amount. Pretty much every pass. Now for the long, lonely flight home, as I very, very nervously check over my shoulder to make sure we're not about to get ganked. Sun's obscured by clouds, which is why it got so dark all of a sudden, but we're about to pop through the other side. Yep, we are through. Slow down there. All in all, I would say that was a very successful mission. That river crossing, I don't know if we actually got the bridge itself, and I'm a bit sad. I don't know if we did, but the rest of the Germans certainly got suppressed. We personally killed 2 or 3 tanks, Panzer 38s. For those of you who don't know tanks, and I know at least one person who may or may not be watching knows a lot about tanks, a lot more than me actually. The Panzer 38 was I believe a Czech design that the Germans appropriated when they invaded the Sudetenland not the Sudetenland, when they took, or maybe it was the Sudetenland. I'm sorry, my brain isn't working so hot today. When they took half of what was then Czechoslovakia in 1938, a lot of those fell into their hands, and they were used rather extensively, mainly as scout vehicles and infantry support vehicles, because they were just very light. They were heavier than the Panzer IIs, I believe. I don't know. Somebody fact check me on that, please. Oh, hello, Yoan. Good to have you. How much have you managed to catch, actually? What's going on? What are we doing? Oh god, why? I put up a comment on the IL-2 forums earlier today, and I'm getting notifications in reply now. And it's just notification sound after notification sound. Let's see, where are we now? We are almost at the final leg of the flight. Once we hit that, it's just a sharp right turn, and we're on strolling back to base. Anyways, it's good to have you on board, Yoan. Or Yoan? Eowyn? I don't know how to pronounce your username. I'm sorry. If you have any questions about how aircraft work, I will do my best to answer them. Just general World War II questions, I don't know. Honestly, we're far enough over Russian lines that I'd be surprised if somebody went after us. So as long as I don't ram into our buddy here, easy, easy. As long as we don't do that, we should be in the clear. We might even land. Is that permitted? I wonder where the rest of the squadron is. I hope they're doing okay. What concerns me is that, yeah, it still says primary objective in progress, which is worrying. We're probably still in radio range with the rest of the squadron. And I don't think we lost everyone. So they're just being really quiet, which is not doing my anxiety any good. I have been told that this gun sight slides, but I don't know how to do that. There's probably some key binding for it. I'd have to look it up. I don't really see much point. It's in a good spot where it is. Right, I need to actually kick over a little to the right. I'm sliding right behind his tailpipe. Oop, hang on. We must be in our turn towards the base. Once we're in visual range of our airfield, we're going to turn back on our navigation lights, but for now, anything can happen, so we have to stay on our best behavior. Turn our backs on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. This is really a remarkably steady aircraft. Despite having only trim for the vertical, for the elevator, it does not yaw much, it doesn't roll much, it just kind of flies where you point it. And you only just have to cancel out the tendency of the plane to either go up or down. I am very impressed with how this aircraft handles, especially being such an early war model. Like, we haven't even gotten to the versions of the plane that have defensive gunners in the back. We're going to be waiting until, like, 1943 for that. Which is terrifying to think that the Soviets just let their combat pilots traipse around the world with no support. Winching up on our wingman here again, so let's slow down. So checking the map. Yep, we're about halfway to the airfield. So that's right. Hang on. It's right over there. Once we reach waypoint 5, we're on the landing approach. Because of the nature of the airfield, it's not really a proper airfield, the landing track or an airstrip. It's just, our home base, Vlasyevo, is, as I've said before in earlier streams, is an aerodrome in the World War I sense. It's just flattened grass where aircraft can be launched and recovered. So we might actually be able to land at the same time as our buddy here, but we're going to have to be especially careful when we do this, because it would be oh so easy for us to collide at some point, and while we may not both die, both of our planes would be effectively useless. And given previous days of this campaign, IL-2 attrition rate is high. And I'd rather we didn't miss part of the war because we simply ran out of aircraft. One of the secrets to formation flying really is just looking only at the aircraft you're trying to follow and just staring and staring and staring. At some point you start to forget that the rest of the world exists. And if you're doing it right, it looks like the rest of the world is moving. It's just you and this other plane bloody well near stationary in space. It's a weird optical effect, but it requires precise positioning and sharing effectively the same velocity. That's hard. I'm doing a lot of micro adjustments that might be difficult to really track in-game. Like I'm constantly moving the stick and bumping up the throttle and doing these hair adjustments on the rudder. And sometimes it's a little bit more obvious, like right now where I've lost the position and I'm trying to jockey back into it. Sometimes just trying to maintain. My legs are moving, my arms are moving, everything's doing something. And my mouth is moving, which you are all rather unfortunately aware of. Hang on, inching back towards him again. Kick the plane up a little. Alright, the rest of Raven Squadron seems to be landing. We are very nearly back. Holy cow. This is the first time in our campaign that we've landed at the airbase we started from. That is... it's an accomplishment, is what it is. Especially given that half of the time we didn't make it back because of my own incompetence, and the other half of the time it's because something was trying to kill us and was succeeding. But despite it all, Peter has very nearly made it back to base. I wish I could say the same for the rest of my squadron. I still don't know where they are. Six of us went up. And right now it's just 2. The fact that the mission still has not been considered accomplished very much worries me. Alright, we're going to start a descending left-hand turn very soon. Should be left-hand. And that'll be the start of our landing approach, because I think we can go from where we are to where we need to be rather quickly. That's not our airfield over there. That's some other airfield. That's a proper airfield. On the left, you can see the strip. At least I think that's the strip. That might be farmland, honestly. No robocall. Please go away. No, that's definitely an airfield. You can see the taxiways and the other runway. Whoa! Whoa! So I wasn't crazy. Oh god. I thought I heard something to my right, but I looked and I couldn't see through the bar. We are going to fly high and over, because I'm... Wow, that spooked me. Where is our aerodrome? Literally right below us. There's the other members of our squadron. Now here's the thing, our flaps won't deploy until after we get to... I think it's at 300 kilometers an hour because of the strong airflow. So we're actually going to take kind of an awkward path to let the plane slow down. We're also not going to make an attempt at an immediate landing. The fact that we weren't flying alone, and that the rest of the squadron was there the whole time, has put me on edge. Geez, I'm going to have to clip that, because that was a nasty shock. I literally did not see them. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm 5. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we all made it back. We'll know for sure once we land. Oh wow, this is a hairpin turn. Am I actually taking G-forces? We're gonna raise the trim a little so that our plane isn't trending down so much. We are also awfully high for the approach, or low for the approach. Alright, left-hand turn. Aerodrome is... where is it? I think it might be right off our nose. I'm not 100% on that. Let's check. No, it's off our left wing. There it is. Alright, so if we can land in that circled area, or that kind of oblong area, I suppose, we're set. We might actually go around a few times. Let's see. So if that's 1, and that's 2 above and behind him, we want to slot in so that we are third in line. So we're gonna cut up inside. Where are you going? Hard rudder. I don't want to hit somebody. Alright, let's lower our flaps. It says retract the flaps, ignore it. Yeah, we were way too high for an approach. Next circle, we should be good to go. Just gonna go around. Sorry, chat, if you're saying something, I can't really reply until after we've touched down. This is a really tricky part, and I have to be very careful to not screw it all up after we've come so far. What are you doing? Doing a sharp turn. Stork 1's landed. We are behind and below 2. Who is next in the pattern? So when he goes, we'll go down with him, just because it prevents me from making a navigation error. So we should get ready for that. When he lowers his flaps, we'll lower ours. When he lowers his gear, we'll lower ours, and we'll stay off to his right a little ways to make sure that there's no collision. Easy. Easy. Come on, Sturmovik. Just a little bit further to go, and we are done with the mission. Okay. Last go around. Yep. This is descending bank. I can't tell what he's doing. We've fallen too far behind. So we're gonna slip over to his right. Is that fighter cover? Who is that up there? Please tell me that's not a 109 that's followed us all the way back here. If so, I would laugh and then cry. Alright. Let's go. Flaps are down. Okay, it looks like he's not going in, so we're going to go in. This is a really high glide slope. We might be too fast. Yeah, we are. We're too fast. We're gonna go around. There was no safe way to land. So to execute a go around, we're gonna climb up. Not at max power. We're just gonna bank over. Our next approach will be our last. Hello, Jenny Lowback. It's nice to have a follower. I'm sorry I didn't notice your follow until literally just now. I'm kind of new to this. Hopefully you are still in chat. I can speak English, I swear. Okay. Where is our airfield? There it is, it's on our left. So let's fly parallel to it for a bit. Lower our speed. And get ready for the landing. So we're gonna jut out a couple of kilometers just to make sure we're set. It is always worth remembering that a landing is not much more than a controlled crash. So it always pays to be careful, diligent, not take things lightly. So we're going to start with our turn. Nice wide turn. Aerodrome is back that way. We're actually going to make this a lot steeper now. Lower our flaps, lower our gear, begin the descent. Okay, we are now on final approach. We're going to raise the pitch trimmer to 0. Just begin our descent. Okay, we've been cleared for landing. Stork? This is Stork. Did our airbase and our squadron end up with the same call sign? That is unfortunate. Okay, watch the trees. Roll out. And touchdown. Alright, we had a bit of a bump there, but we've done it. Touchdown, applying brake pressure. You have to be careful, because if you slam down on the brakes, you will just tip the aircraft forward. We have landed, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Vlasievo. Alright, so we're gonna kick the engine over and get us off of the runway itself so that it's clear for the next pilots. How exactly to get this thing moving, I'm not 100% sure. I'm actually going to lower the RPM significantly so that we don't have to worry about problems. I'm doing everything in my power to get this thing to maneuver. There we go. Gannett bingo. Oh, interesting. Gannett's landing here. Alright. Let's kill the engine. Magneto's off. Okay. Landing lights are off. Raise the flaps. Oh, wow, those are loud. We still have battery? Hang on. Let's see if we can. Yep, there we go. Sometimes it doesn't want to do that. Maybe it's an issue of how long you hold it. Who knows? Okay. Our aircraft is now 100% at a stop. Over there's one of our squadron mates. Kind of in a bad position to see what's happening, but I just want to watch this landing, and then we will end our first mission of the day. It only took us an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, you can see that lower one, the one that's obscured by trees right now. He's the one who's going to be making his pass. Our radio's off, so we can't hear the calls back and forth. But that's okay. We'll see it happen. Once he touches down, we'll stop. And we'll take a break so I can get some water, use the restroom, all that jazz. And then we're going to pick up with our last flight of the night. And then after that, it's over to ARMA 3. Yep, here he comes. What a sound. And touchdown. Pitch perfect. The other aircraft in the sky. Nope, just us. Alright, with that, our first sortie is done. Oh, interesting. It does not... Oh. Well, it's okay. We've landed. We've recovered. We're good. The mission says it's failed. I find that interesting. I wonder what happened. Let's see. Here's our attack point. We killed, yep, Panzerkampfwagen 38. A lot of trucks. The I-16s did get that 109. And unfortunately, we lost an I-16 as well. That was due to flak. Speaking of flak... Oh, searchlight. Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, wow, they killed their own searchlight. That's unfortunate. No, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Wow, those I-16s were doing work. That's the third 109. That one was killed by AA. We did a pretty good job, though. That clump, you can make out barely where the things we killed were. But hey, not only did we do it, but we made it all the way back home, intact, alive, plane undamaged. I don't even think we got shot. I didn't hear any noise when we were flying. So, what's the after action? The after action report, mission failed, quote unquote, for a grand total of 10 vehicles and 8 heavy weapons, anti-aircraft guns. We did a good job, even if High Command disagrees. On to the next day. Like I said, we'll do one more flight, and then we're going to pivot over to ARMA 3. The last time I streamed, on a Friday, we did the first half of ARMA 3's Laws of War campaign, and we'll be finishing that. Anyways, heavy weather today, 15th of October 1941. Clouds at 600 meters, temperature is still -1, pressure has dropped to 730 millimeters mercury. We've got a strong wind to the east at 5 meters per second. Technically, we have 2 flights today, but we're only going to be flying half, which is a bit scary, because the more flights we go out on, the more likely we never come home again. So here we are at Vlasievo. Oh, thank God. It's not that far away. So, we've got the troop concentration attack at 8:16 in the morning at Balabanovo. Yeah. That's 51 kilometers away. And then next time, we'll be flying to Bashkino, a railway junction in the vicinity of Naro-Fominsk. I'm a bit concerned. Moscow is here. We don't fall back past this line. The Germans... Was that the front line yesterday? There's that... You know, I think they pushed up on us. No, that's where that was last time. Okay. The front line hasn't moved significantly overnight, which is good. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break, use the restroom, get some water, and prep for the next flight. Should be back in about 5 minutes, optimistically. Okay, I have returned. So, what do we have? Something we should probably keep in mind as we move forward in the campaign. The Germans have a month to continue pushing up on Moscow, and they are going to get damn close by the time this thing's over. That's a nice little lake. Sorry. Um, we are not going to be staying at Vlasievo. I'd be willing to bet a safe amount of money. I'd be willing to safely bet a lot of money um, that we're not staying. We might be rebased. If I had to guess where, uh, let's see, how do you pronounce that? Ilinskoy? Ilinskoy? I don't know. Or Philly? Philly? Any one of these four airfields very much could be our new home. But I would be surprised if, as the German army continues advancing, especially with this crumbling south front, that we'll be staying here long. This will probably be in German hands by the end of the month. Something to keep in mind. The good news is, up until that point, our flight time should be less and less, unless High Command decides to direct us more in the direction of the 4th Panzer Group. I'm hoping, just for flight time and also how long it takes to get back over friendly territory, that we keep being directed towards the southern salient, but we will have to see. This is a really bad situation for the Soviet Union, as it was in history. But we shall worry about that some other time. For now, let's get into it. Okay, much like last time, it is a 6-ship flight. We are 5, and we'll be deviating north to Vnukovo to link up with our escort flight. So that's not, I don't think it's going to be Gannett this time. It's going to be a different squadron. That's exciting. As we already know, we've got heavy clouds, 600. We'll be approaching above the clouds by a good kilometer. Should be enemy troop concentration march through flight, as well as some armor and transportation vehicles. Destroy as many targets as you can. So, taking off at bearing 090 for 10 kilometers, then deviating northwest at 346 for 11 kilometers, and then a straight flight southeast to the target area at 216 for 60 kilometers. We'll hang around there for maybe 5-ish passes, and then we're going to deviate up to the city of, or the village of Machihino. At bearing 44 for 23 kilometers, and then RTB at bearing 32 for 26 kilometers, and then we land. Ideally, this should take about 45 minutes. Ideally. Our loadout is apparently the same as last time. I feel like ground crew might be a little bit ambitious with that fuel load, but it is not our place to argue with the techies. Once again, hang on. Once again, we have 8 rockets, 2 Fab 100 bombs, 300 cannon rounds, and 150 machine gun rounds. 1,500, otherwise known as 1,500, which is what my brain was trying to say, machine gun rounds. The Shikas, I believe that's a 50 caliber round. So we are very heavily loaded to the teeth, and our cannon rounds at 23 millimeter. That thing has already proven its worth by literally tearing through armor. Like, we have destroyed tanks with these guns. I believe that's them right there. I've been trying to find where the machine gun's hidden. Normally, we should have a nose-mounted cannon. I guess we're not running that, and we might not be running that ever. Hard to say. Anyways, actually, let me just, yeah, we're set to default. With that, we're going to get started. So, the good thing about being so far at the back of the line is that we don't have to worry about leaving immediately. Oh, whoops. Let's lower the pitch trim. Oh, hang on. When he goes off on our left, we go next. And kick the engine up to full. Flaps down, gear down. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Rotate at 150 kilometers an hour. Rotate. Gear up. Flaps up. We're going to see an immediate nose down. We're going to have to fight that. Wonder if I'm raising the flaps a little bit too early. Something to think about. 6 should be behind us and to our left. They'll probably overshoot us. I'm still quite bad at keeping up on takeoff. I just hope he doesn't collide. That's my worry. Don't mind the game telling us to ratchet the engine use down. It shouldn't be a problem going forward. It's an issue of getting up to altitude. Yeah, the weather's quite severe, but I'm not seeing storms, though, which is good. I want to keep up with the squadron so I don't lose them in the clouds. Being buffeted by light turbulence right now. Kill the navigation lights. Turn us sharply over. We've entered the cloud bank. Lower the RPM to 90%. Still more than enough to get us into where we need to be. Lower the pitch trimmer to 0. Alright, where is 6? We're 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we're 5. We're in the right spot. Hang on, hang on, hang on. We're overshooting by a lot. Just drift the plane over. Ever so slightly. No kidding. We're with Gannett again? Did they rebase? You know, they might have beat us to the objective and are waiting for us there. Who knows? Still don't know where 6 is. That's making me nervous. Where is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But 6. 6 is oddly absent. Uh-oh. Overheat. Open up the radiators a little. Slow our plane down so we don't collide with 5. Still climbing to altitude. We're about 300 meters away from that. Once we reach that, we'll probably form up into our proper alignment, which might be the issue. Only problem with the IL-2 is that it is a heavy bird. It does not like to climb, or at least it doesn't like to climb in my hands. Yep, we're forming up slowly. Up the throttle a little and try to get in position. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where is 6? I've been trying to spot him for ages. I just don't know. Good as gone. When I get a lot better at this stuff, I want to have like in-flight music for these dull parts. For now, you're just going to have to be lulled by the soothing sounds of an engine. Which, you know, there's some charm to that. Okay, well, we seem to be in a relatively stable pattern, my flying aside. So if anyone has any questions, comments, I don't know, please for the love of God give me something to talk about. We have a few more minutes before we enter it, so it'll be nice to have some human interaction before we start running the risk of dying. There's 6. Hello, 6. You scared me. The $1,000,000 question for today. Can we bring all of our Sturmovix home again? That last mission was an unusual... Even if whoever was writing the mission report didn't think we succeeded, probably because we didn't kill the bridge itself, if I had to guess, because we didn't destroy that pontoon. Even if we didn't technically succeed, we not only killed a lot of Germans, but we also brought all of our planes back, which is incredibly important. It means that we have more manpower for future flights. It means we have planes available, especially to act as replacements in case planes get damaged or destroyed. And it means experience for the pilots who'd survive. And that matters a lot. We are going to need as many veterans as we can get, because things are only going to get worse from here. That is a weird artifacting on that plane in front of us. I think it's supposed to be because he's technically in the clouds, but it looks really funny. We'll drop behind the rest of the squadron. As per usual, our standard procedure is to drop bombs on the first pass and then switch over to rockets for any remaining passes. And after that, it's guns. Why that order? For one, I don't feel comfortable having bombs aboard my aircraft. If something happens, I want to ditch that weight as soon as possible, and they are the heaviest thing I have on my plane, aside from the engine and the weapon and the guns. 2, they are also the most destructive weapons I have. Hang on. Easy there, 6. What are you doing? Okay, we're going in. Wow, visibility is trash. I don't know what we're engaging. Hang on, there's something right there. So we're going to line up on it. Bombs away. We're going to fly through. Something just went off really loud behind us. That's probably our bombs. I don't think we hit anything with it, but... oh well. I don't pretend to be an ace. So we're going to follow that plane right in front of us. Whoa! Let me actually close our radiators a little. That's flak fire, right? That's not a fighter aircraft literally right behind us. Right? We might be in trouble. The tracers didn't quite look right for a 109. But if we take damage, we're going to bug out as fast as possible. We'll probably just ditch our rockets into the forest. Just fire them all off. And try to make it back to either a nice looking clearing in Soviet territory or our airbase if we can manage. Pinky is hurting. I don't know why. That is no small amount of anti-aircraft guns down there. We're gonna have to be careful. If we can hit some of the flak with our rockets, we're gonna make life a lot easier for our guys. So let's go for that gun battery on our right. Off the rail. Let's see how close was that to the target. Okay. We hit a searchlight. I don't know if we had anything more valuable than that. We still have more rockets to fire. We probably suppressed some gun crew, though, so that's the good news. Giving the plane hard right rudder. We're bugging out. Try to fly a relatively erratic pattern. We should have at least 1 or 2 more missiles, or rockets rather, because they're dumbfire. There is a difference, believe it or not. Ooh, that guy. Zooming off ahead of us. Engine coolant. Okay, we'll open up a radiator. Also knock the RPM down by 1 notch. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're not alone anymore. Hang on, hang on. I'm gonna loosen up my turn so that he can go over my head. Okay, good. No collision. 1 kilometer out. He's right on top of us. Where's that 109? Who knows? We better be ready to shoot at it, though, if it makes a pass. I'm actually going to bump the RPM up. It'll be a bit dangerous, but I kind of want the power. I feel like my plane's a little bit too slow today. That did put us in the boosted mode. I'll have to be careful about that. Okay, there's a machine gun over that way. Will he fire again so I can see him? Okay, we're out. Hard right rudder. Knock the RPM back so we're no longer in boosted mode. I think that's a bad guy that just flew over us. I wasn't able to ID him. Either way, our fighter escorts are doing their job. We're out of rockets, so it's just going to be cannon and machine gun from here. Whoa! Easy there, buddy. It's just a war, there's no rush. What a jerk. He very nearly hit me. I'm kind of worried. I've lost sight of him. I don't know. There he is. Let's roll in again. There's like a flak battery on the other side of the road that we keep not going after. So I'm going to make a pass at that. Why is our plane handling so funny? Must be wind. Here. That machine gun over on the right. Come on, fire again so I can ID you. Got it. Hard right rudder. Let's make a hairpin turn. Treetop level. And we're out. And we're going to start turning back in. There's the rest of the squadron. We're a bit off the beaten path. So we just have to hope that nobody takes advantage of that. Okay, there's a buddy. There's a fighter. One of ours or one of theirs? It might be another Sturmovik, honestly. I can't tell. Yeah, I think that's actually another Sturmovik. Alright, the Gannets are reporting having killed something. So that might mean that one of the fighters is down, maybe more. I can't tell if that's one claim per kill, or if it's multiple people making the same claim. It's hard to say. We'll have to be a little bit more careful next time, too, on our ingress. We were a bit reckless, and that could have ended pretty poorly if I wasn't so lucky. Gannets are still going after something. Okay, there's a battery. Right there. Fires again. There it is. We're lined up. Got it! Wow, we actually knocked out 2 guns there. Whoop, we just took a minor hit. We're okay. Engine's alright. Pressure's okay. We're not leaking anything, are we? Yeah, we're good. Superficial blow. We're all good. Thank God for the armored bathtub. Alright, we got a searchlight and a flak gun. Okay. Maybe not the sexiest thing to kill. Whoa, my God! My own teammates are going to kill me. I need to open up the oil radiator. I'm gonna close this a little. Lower the RPM down to 88%. That should keep the overheat problem from becoming serious. Just give it a couple of seconds for the engine to cool. Other problem is we are very, very slow. How long do we have until that overheat problem becomes serious? I think that's a MiG. I think that's one of ours. Okay, overheating's gone. Come on, give me a target. What is our guy over here looking at? There's something right in front of us. We'll make a pass at that. Hey, we got something. Alright. Off and to the right. What did we hit? What was that? Is it a truck of some kind, probably? That was a flak gun. Nice! I wonder if the crew had abandoned it because it wasn't firing. It's possible. But even an abandoned flak gun's still a flak gun destroyed. So, I mean, after all, the crew could have come back on it at any time. Why? Hang on. Why does this feel like it's running? Yeah, it's rolling over to the left. Oh. Huh. That's funny. Wasn't that bad before? I might have been correcting for it without noticing. How much trouble is that? It's... You know what? It's severe enough to where I'm worried. I'm going to have to RTV. It's affecting flight performance, and I can't have that. So we are out. Sorries, ladies and gentlemen. Sorries? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. I can't think today, I'm sorry. But unfortunately, for our last flight, we are getting out as fast as our wings can take us. That's a 109. Going after us. No, he's in a... heading east. We're going to stay at a comfortable bailout altitude, so that means we have to climb. Fortunately for us, our squadron is also returning to base, so we can join them on the exit. I wonder what nicked us. Was it flak? Was there a flak burst? I only heard one impact, and it looked like it hit the underside of the wing, or the underside of the plane, not the wing. I suppose anything's possible. First engine is overheating again. Open those up to 50%. Resolve that problem once and for all. I'm surprised we're having this much trouble with heat. It's so cold. Alright. We're off course by several degrees. This might be another instance of us landing separate from the rest of the formation. It depends. Let's see if we can't reorient to them. Yeah, I'm fighting my plane right now. This is trouble. My hand is off the stick. That is a severe roll. Alright, well, we'll manage. Once we get over Soviet territory, it doesn't really matter either way what happens. And even for emergency bailout's sake, I'm going to open up the canopy. It means more drag. How about that damage? Overheat, again. Engine's doing okay. I don't think we took any damage. We're in the clouds. That's good. We can lose any pursuing fighters in the clouds. Not that I think that we have any, but it's just good to do. Checking the map, we're off course a little. That should be good. Artificial Horizon says we're flying more or less straight and level. Nope, we've overcorrected and now we're descending. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll be arriving last to the airfield, I think. Okay, easy there. This is rather comfortable parachute height. I just want to maintain kind of like the skirting edge of the clouds, just in case. Come left to, what was the bearing? 3-2. There we go. Right about there. Now we just have to maintain that for a little while. Oh, easy there. Gotta fight this thing. Landing's gonna be tricky. I'm a bit worried about that because of the roll. It might not be a very smooth job. But this damage doesn't feel so bad that we can't recover from it. I'm looking at the viewer count, and it's just one other person, so I think actually after this flight I'll stop for tonight, and we can pick up Arma some other time. Yep. Correct a little. Homeward bound. Not going to beat our squadron back, but we should be landing about the same time as them, and we should have priority because of our emergency. Okay. I'm still kind of amazed as to how much damage our plane actually ended up taking as part of that encounter. The aircraft still works, which is what matters most. Gannett's engaged. Wonder where. And how much I need to worry about it. Call me crazy, but I don't think we're alone. There's another aircraft somewhere, I swear. Yep, Stork's made it back. Okay, they're coming in for their landing approach. But we've got priority because of the emergency. There we go. So we're going to just kick over to our right and begin the descent. That's funny. Why do those light up? Okay. Stork 5's coming in with the Mayday. Emergency approach. Get more power to clear this forest. Okay. Brace yourselves, everyone. This might be a bit rough. Yep, we bounced. Touchdown, touchdown. And we've landed. We're going to pull the plane over to the right to get off the runway as fast as possible. If I'm not mistaken, those are the rest of the squadron's IL-2s just sitting around. Yep. Killed the landing lights. Stop turning on the instrument lights. I don't know why it's doing that. Wait, no, hang on. Those are PO2s. That's funny. Why are they here? Oh, the ground crew's gonna have a fit when they see these holes. Speaking of which, there's the ground crew. Hello, boys. Miss me? Okay, let's turn this thing off as fast as possible. Alright. Matic system valve closed. Why is this thing purring at me? Good? We're good. Track those flaps. We are done. Whew. Jeez Louise. 2 hours? 34-minute flight. I was a little bit early on my expectation. So we took off, went around, went around. Look at that. Oh no. We lost Nile too. The 109's got splashed though, and we killed a fair amount of work. I hope our pilot made it out, but he's so far over German lines that it's probable he either died or was captured. We'll have to see. How about that? What is this? Order of the Red Star. Decree by the Presidium of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR of April 6, 1930. The Order of the Red Star was awarded to soldiers of the Soviet Army, Navy, Border, and Internal Security Forces, employees of the State Security Community of the USSR, as well as NCOs and officers of the bodies of internal affairs, to units, warships, associations, enterprises, institutions, and organizations. Its statute was amended by decrees of the Presidium of 7th May 36 and 19th June 43, and later after the Second World War. More than 2 million soldiers and officers of the Red Army were awarded this medal during the Great Patriotic War. We are one of their number. Alright, so with that, we brought our total ground kills up to 12 even. We've been awarded our third medal of our career. That is something to write home about. Vitaly Vorobayev, who was not related to us, other than in spirit, killed in action, despite having killed 5 aircraft, remarkably, and had a relatively prestigious career. And he was one of our captains, too. Yeah, he must have died when his aircraft was shot down. We contributed the second most during that mission. 3 heavy weapons versus 5. We even beat out the flight lead. How about that? That is a shame, though. With that, our action for tonight is concluded. On Sunday, we'll be continuing our playthrough of Stalker Call of Chernobyl, or Shadow of Chernobyl, with the Autumn Aurora mod on. But for tonight, I am out. Have a great evening, everyone, or morning if you people are in Europe or specific parts of Asia. And otherwise, just take care, and I'll see you next time.